Labour. Our State House correspondent Adesua Omorwan reports.
It's 2:15 p.m. and representatives of Organised Labour and their affiliates arrived at the forecourt of the presidential villa. Inside the brown room of the president's office, the stakes are high. The meeting goes behind closed doors. After an hour, if the mood in the room was any indication, an agreement had been reached.
We're happy to announce today that both the federal government and the Organised Labour have agreed on an increase on the 62,000 naira minimum wage. The new national minimum wage that we expect Mr. President to submit to the National Assembly for legislation is 70,000 naira.
Beyond the new minimum wage, other concessions were announced, including the payment of withheld salaries of some Labour affiliates.
First and foremost, that the review of this minimum wage policy has to be reduced to 3 years. That is, 5 years is too long a time to get any minimum wage review. And of course, he promised and asked that the Minister of Finance, coordinating economy and budget and the economic planning should make sure that they go back to books, because he has the discretion to look into of NASU, ASU, and SANU and all that, and so that their money should be paid.
But that is not all. There is also a boost, like Mr. President has assured, in ensuring that massive investment is going to be made in the area of infrastructure. There is also a deepening of the investment of the federal government in renewable energy. More money is going to go into the acquisition of more buses, the CNG buses.
Leaders of the Labour unions took turns to explain their reasons for agreeing to a 70,000 naira minimum wage, down from their initial demand of 615,000 naira at the start of negotiations.
Rather than accepting on a figure that you wait for 5 years, it's like you have to now negotiate even 2 times within 5 years with a view to going up. That is one of the reasons, why we decided to reach where we are today, because of the proviso that, you can review in the next 3 years. The other one, we came with other issues in the basket, like the issue of SANU, NASU, and others, especially with that front by the Commission of Police, FCT. We brought it to Mr. President and talked on the need, for that matter to be addressed. And magnanimously, he asked the agencies concerned to work out the modalities for the payment of those people, those workers in the universities. You can see that we are taking this with mixed feeling because of the situation of the economy, but we have to move ahead.
Why this became a catch, because we from Organised Labour, we have been pushing that the issue of 5 years review is too much, that a lot of economic indices may have changed, because we are in an era where things are moving very fast in terms of both macro and microeconomic policies. But with also the caveat that this is going to be done every 3 years. 3 years, the next review will be 3 years. And after that pronouncement, we from Labour, just has been said that, well, we have received what the President has promised from both ends.
Labour had demanded for a living wage to reflect the cost of living crisis. The push for a new minimum wage began 2 months before the 2019 Act expired. The President then formed a 37-member committee from the government, private sector and Organised Labour to review the wage from 30,000 naira. In June, the committee completed its assignment and submitted the report to the Secretaries of Government of the Federation, but the parties failed to reach an agreement. The federal government gradually increased its proposed minimum wage from 48,000 naira to 62,000 naira, while Labour unions lowered their demand from 615,000 naira to 250,000 naira. Both proposals were forwarded to the president for final decision. Another nationwide strike may have been averted in Nigeria. The president is expected to transmit the new bill to the National Assembly next week. But it is left to be seen how the subnational governments and the organized private sector, who have raised concerns about paying beyond 62,000 naira, comply with the new law. From the presidential villa, Adesua Omoruan, Arise News.